This show is brought to you by the Chiropractic Broadcast Network. Check us out on the web at chiropracticbroadcastnetwork.com. And hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Tuning Into Health. My name is Dr. Chad Rohlfsen, and it is Monday, January 9th. I believe this is episode number 159. Woofta. Sorry, got on a little late, folks. I was commenting on Governor Branstad, the governor of Iowa. He has a beautiful pic of a deer he bagged over the weekend. And I said, congratulations, but I got to tell you, this isn't going clear after the PETA vote. I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, I know this Facebook stuff can get pretty silly, can't it? Anyway, we're back to our normal type of show, which this is all the information that you can utilize. And because of the last show of 2011, we had, basically a recap of the year's events. And then we didn't have one on the 1st of January. And then last week we had an interview with Vincent Divalema about technotropism. We didn't get much news done, so there's a lot of it. So anyway, today we're looking at the Britons are saying lay off the booze twice a week. Vitamins and omega-3s keep the brain from shrinking. Studies of fluoride supplements. Are they good for you? Argentina president, cancer surgery called a success. The only problem was she didn't have surgery. ADHD drugs and shortages. Why? Why is there a shortage? Anyway, medical errors go underreported at hospitals. Why is that, huh? Well, because it's not so good. After this. Did I just call you a sheeple? Well, I don't know. Depends on your outlook on life. Are you going to accept the status quo, or are you going to listen to some different things, different opinions, different ways of thinking, and then add that all together and, well, think for yourself? That's a good question, huh? Are you going to do it? I don't know. That's what I'm here for. I do this show, Tuning Into Health, every Monday and Thursday at 12:30 Central Time for you folks to get a little different flavor of the news. So, and I'm happy to do it. It's one of my passions. I love reading copy. Yes. And I tell you what, I'm going to front load it all. For you. So if you only got a couple minutes to watch, that's fine, but we're going to kind of go on with the show because there's a lot of stuff I didn't get to these last couple of weeks, and we got to talk about it. Hey, medical errors go unreported at hospitals. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Office of the Inspector General reported about 86% of hospital medical errors are not reported in the databases of incident reporting systems, a system designed to manage and improve the quality of care for patients. Shockingly, 62% of adverse and temporary harm events are not reported due to the staff believing that the event does not need to be reported. And 25% of the medical errors are not reported where medical errors that are commonly reported, however, were not reported for that instance. So there's a local hospital here in Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, that decided to pay attention to its error reporting procedures. And they told their employees to report everything that could, that was an error. I mean, don't even use your judgment, just report it. And what they shockingly found was a 700% increase in their errors error rate when they told their employees to really look after it. The problem with the error reporting system is it's a passive system. Yeah. Doctors don't want to be held accountable. Doctors don't want to. No, they get paid way too much. No, they don't want to be held accountable. God, they don't even want performance-based pay. I don't know. Underreported events included hospital-acquired infections, overuse of wrong medications, severe bed sores, excessive bleeding due to administrative anticoagulants, and in some cases, death. By reporting these events, the hospital administration would be able to identify problems to help improve the care of the patients. But somebody has to take the blame for each one of those reported incidents, right? Human nature being what it was or is, don't want to do that. No. Main cause of underreported medical errors is hospital employees not recognizing what defines an adverse event or medical error. As a result, the number of true adverse events and underreported. Well, I'm not going to say that. Human nature being what it is, I disagree with this. Somebody's got to be blamed for the medical error. Somebody's got to be written up. You know what I mean? And so if nobody saw it, it's like a tree falling in the woods. It never happened. So, interesting. This comes from thestatecolumn.com. Do you hear this? ADHD drugs. There's shortages. And why? Why? Are that many people being diagnosed with ADHD? Or could it be a black market? You know, it's pretty much cocaine, right? You know, it can be turned into something called a speedball and sold illegally on the market, right? So the problem is these drug companies are selling these medications and they're not knowing where they're going and they're ending up in the street. And then the people that, quote, really need them are actually prescribed them. Well, bang, they're out of luck. Or could it be the kids are, well, selling it to the junkies? I don't know. But this is a WebMD article, January 3rd. Many popular ADHD medications have been in short supply, particularly with less expensive generics. That's no surprise. The people who have gone from pharmacy to pharmacy trying to fill their child's prescriptions, or those who have had to pay high prices for brand name drugs to treat the ADHD. The drugs in question are stimulants that calm and focus people with ADHD. The shortages have affected two main classes of ADHD drugs, the methamphetamines and the amphetamines. So, some popular drugs such as Novartis Ritalin are in short supply, and other diagnoses are not in others. Other drugs such as Teva's extended-release amphetamine are back-ordered. Amphetamines are basically illegal drugs, right? Still others, such as Adderall, and authorized generics are in good supply, according to the FDA. That's interesting. So I'll have this up on Facebook.com/Rohlfsen. You can get a little better view of this article if you're interested. Okay, this is funny but not funny. The Argentina president and Cristina Fernandez, I can't pronounce south of the border names whatsoever, had surgery for thyroid cancer on Wednesday, and it was a complete success. The only thing is articles afterwards say the biopsy was done and, well, there was no cancer in the thyroid, but it's still a success. So, this is January 4th. Cancer surgery was successful, her spokesman said. There's no complications during the 3.5-hour operation to remove Fernandez's thyroid gland. Fernandez, okay. That makes more sense. Presidential spokesman Alfredo said. Last week, doctors took a test indicated the papillary carcinoma detected in Fernandez's thyroid had not spread to her lymph nodes or grown beyond the gland because there was no cancer they found. There's just an article published on that just recently. Yes, I'm using Twitter again. A little more. It's kind of fun. It's really funny to see how they use Twitter. So I'm following some interesting people. How about this? Studies of fluoride supplements. There's no evidence of safety. And, well, there's evidence of harm, but there's no evidence of safety in any amount, and no benefits either. So this comes from the PR Newswire. New York, according to Cochrane Oral Health Group, fluoride supplements fail to reduce tooth decay in primary teeth. Permanent teeth cavity reduction is dubious, and the health risks are little studied. Further, when fluoride supplements were compared to topical fluorides with other preventative measures, there was no differential effect in the permanent or deciduous teeth. So, fluoride supplements are routinely prescribed to children who don't live in water fluoridated communities and are encouraged by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. Cochrane research team reports we rated 10 trials as being unclear risk of bias and one high risk of bias, and therefore the trials provided weak evidence about the efficacy of fluoride supplements. The team found limited information on the adverse effects associated with the use of fluoride supplements. In the early 1980s, Robert Wood Johnson Foundation research first revealed fluoride tablets and mouth rinses failed to reduce tooth decay. That was back in 1980. We still go. If we go to the dentist, they'll still give us this frickin' little Colgate fluoride toothpaste. And my kids think it's candy when they get it. And I throw it in the trash. We don't use fluoride toothpaste in our home. And guess what? No cavities. Imagine that. How about this? Vitamins and omega-3s keep your brain from shrinking. This is 2 weeks after. No, this is the same week that they reported that vitamins and omega-3s really didn't do anything for the body. Nope. But this is coming from MSNBC, so you know it's got to be true, right? It's mainstream. Older adults with high levels of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamins B, C, D, and E in their blood perform better on certain measured of thinking abilities and also tended to have larger brain volume, a new study finds. Seniors with higher levels of trans fats in their bloods fared worse than certain thinking tests than those with lower and unhealthy fats, lower levels of unhealthy fats, and also had more brain shrinkage. Sorry, reading copy is a little out of practice for a couple weeks. Researchers said that the findings suggest nutrients work in synergy with other to be protective of the brain health. For people with a vitamin profile high in B, C, D, and E, those particular nutrients seem to be working together on the same level, said the lead study author. Having high scores for those vitamins was associated with better cognitive function of the larger brain volume. And this was the January 24 print issue of the Journal of Neurology. So, hey, MSNBC and the Journal of Neurology. It's got to be true, right? How about this? UK says to Britons, lay off the booze for twice a week, will you? Come on. Some of the members of the British government have messaged for all Britons, don't drink alcohol twice a week. Yep. Science and Technology Committee, made up of several members of the Parliament, which means it's really politically, I don't know, made an announcement because it says the country's current guidelines for sensible drinking could lead to excessive drinking. In 1987, a position of British government was that British men could drink up to 21 units of alcohol per week, and women could drink up to 14 because of the scientific evidence suggests that drinking alcohol could cut the risk of heart disease. In 1990, the recommendations changed to quantify the daily use of alcohol, saying men and women should not regularly drink more than 3 or 4 units a day, and women no more than 2-3 units a day. And listen, these are the same people that a month ago said that water didn't cause hydration. They banned water companies from using the word hydration in their advertising. I don't think so. Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back right after this.
We love our chiropractor, and I've got 3 great reasons why. First, There are no appointments, which is great for my busy life. Second, we don't waste a lot of time sitting in a waiting room. Dr. Chad actually respects our time and schedule. Third, we get unlimited care at a low fixed monthly fee. That's right, my family's care is based on our needs, not the insurance company's ability to pay. You can love your chiropractor too, and your first adjustment at the Spinal Tuning Center is free. The Spinal Tuning Center is conveniently located on Merle Hay Road, right off Interstate 80. Find out more at spinaltuning.com or call 727-4000.
When you're looking for a new home, why not seek the counsel of friends who happen to know the housing market better than all the rest? Mike and Holly Taylor with Iowa Realty can answer all questions related to securing a mortgage and provide valuable information that is important to your family. Mike and Holly will provide you with a detailed summary of area schools, nearby amenities, and all the testimonials from the people that they have served. Call Mike or Holly at 453-6011. That's 453-6011 to start looking for your new home today. And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad. Yes, you certainly are. Welcome back. Welcome back to phase 2 of the plan. Hey, you're feeling a bit out of tune. You can't sleep or your energy levels are just low and they're finding it harder to make it through the day. The specialist insists that there's nothing wrong, but you innately feel that something's out of tune. Maybe it's time to call the chiropractor. D.D. Palmer, the founder of chiropractic, recognized that the repetitive physical, chemical, and emotional stress can alter the normal tone within a person's nervous system, aka what we call subluxations. This persistent irritation can lead to poor physical, mental, and emotional performance. So what's the solution? Restore normal tone and nervous system with the specific chiropractic adjustments, and better health will naturally flow. Health is the music that plays in all your cells, tissues, and organs and vibrate perfectly in unison, orchestrated by a finely tuned nervous system. If you're feeling sluggish, weak, or tired, a trip to the chiropractor may just be the thing that you need to get back in key. And isn't that appropriate? Because I own the Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center. Spinal tuning, it just makes more sense, don't you think? It makes more sense. Some chiropractors don't want to use the term adjustment. Well, I do something called spinal tuning. And it's traditional chiropractic, the most important key aspect of it. Associated with the time after the adjustment. Time after the adjustment is just as important as the adjustment itself, too. So it helps your body contemplate what's happening in the brain and body. So anyway, here's a little video that I thought you'd like. It looks about spinal degeneration. What you're seeing here is pretty much close to normal, what a normal spine should look like. So we're going to bring it through the levels and look at spinal degeneration. Oops, here we go. There we go. That's phase 1. Phase 2, the arthritis starts. Into phase 3, the big spurs happen and all that type of stuff. The discs collapse, the bones grow together, and you get no mobility. So, I know. Kind of a neat little thing. So... So while we're talking about chiropractic, we got to talk about the latest news. And this kind of drives me nuts. This will be on facebook.com/Rohlfsen. Neck pain, chiropractor, exercise better than medication, a study says. Well, and this was in thedispatch.com, webmd.com, and then ABC News. How they title their story is exercise better than medications for neck pain. They left out the one thing that beat them both, and that was chiropractic. So, yeah. And oh, surprise, another study that proves chiropractic is superior when it comes to neck or back pain. Yawn. What else is frickin' new, folks? Let's see. Shall I read it from WebMD so you just know it's unbiased from a chiropractor standpoint? January 3rd, 2012, spinal manipulation, which is the dumbest word ever created. And if a chiropractor uses that, shame on you. Shame on you. The difference in education is 563 hours versus 62 hours of osteopathic training. Shame on you if you're using that. So, at-home exercises may be better than spinal adjustments and at-home exercises may be better relieving neck pain than relying on drugs, but the best neck pain treatment may depend on the person. Really? A new study shows that spinal adjustment therapy, which it's not a therapy at all, spinal adjustments from a chiropractor or home exercise provider by a therapist offered better neck pain relief than medications alone in people with neck pain of less than 3 months in duration. Researchers say the neck pain is a common problem and affects up to 3 in 4 people at some point in their lifetime. Conventional treatment for neck pain usually consists of medications such as anti-inflammatory drugs or painkillers and exercise. Okay, I'm going to take issue with this article because it doesn't follow up, right? It just talks about just really neck pain. And yeah, you can get some exercises and stuff like that. But I want you to think of your problem being a misalignment of the bone. If there's a misalignment of the bone, let's take an analogy here. So your car has a misaligned tire. Does driving your car harder or faster fix the misaligned tire? It will reduce that vibration in your steering wheel. You know, you hit the 40, 50, or 45 and that front wheel is misaligned and your steering wheel starts shaking, right? Okay, and then you get to 50, 55, and the vibration goes away. So you think you fixed it. So driving it harder or faster makes you think that you fixed it. Same with exercise. But what ends up happening is if you drive your car with a misaligned tire and thinking that driving it harder or faster is going to fix it, guess what, folks? You have unintended consequences. Because you didn't get it aligned, you get a blowout when you least expect it. So the study, when it comes to that, doesn't mention that. Doesn't mention that in the news reports. I got 3 different types of news reports, and it's a bunch of bunk. So when you can get that neck aligned, then you can exercise. That's great. Utilize it in tandem, but make sure you have the alignment straight first before you start to exercise and think that you're doing good when you're not doing such good. All righty. Okay, that's my chiropractic rant. Guess what's far safer than vaccines in limiting the chickenpox spread? What do you think? Which I think it's beneficial for your child to get chickenpox. Make sure your child's healthy and expose them to chickenpox. I can't tell you to do that, but that's what I did with my kids. It was pitiful, too. It's 2 weeks of hell. Yeah, don't worry. Especially when you have all 4 of them done at once. But if your child comes down with a case of chickenpox, which is, by the way, a mild disease without complications for the vast majority of healthy children, a healthy dose of natural sunlight may be just what the doctor ordered. In tropical countries, chickenpox is actually far less common and less easily spread than other countries with cold seasons. An increase in exposure in ultraviolet light, sunshine appears to be the reason. Sun exposure may help stop the spread of chickenpox. This is from Mercola.com. I'll have that on. So if you're interested in that little story. Okay. Visualizing wellness. Ooh, what does wellness look like? Let's see. This comes from CNN. Last time you went to the doctor's office, you probably got some numbers representing your pulse or blood pressure, even cholesterol and weight. But what does it actually mean for you? Alexander Triaris, founder of the Visual MD, wants you to be able to see the process that you are making, see the processes that are making you as healthy or sick as you are and act on that knowledge. The Visual MD is detailed, colorful libraries that visualize aspects of sickness and health based on real medical data, and it's now presenting a new tool for breaking bad habits in 2012. The new program, which launched this week, is called The 9 Visual Rules of Wellness. Each rule is accompanied by a slew of videos and visualizations, interactive graphics, and more components of the wellness rules will be rolled out every Monday over the next several months until April 9th. If you could see inside myself, if I could see inside myself healing, I could see the progress of it and inspiring, and would get you to keep the path you're following, your pathway back to health. Okay, that's a new one. That's a new one. I will have it posted on facebook.com/Rohlfsen. By the way, if you ever have any questions or anything, you're more than welcome to type out a question or instant message me on Facebook, or you're welcome to go to Tuning Into Health on Skype. Tuning Into Health, one word, and see what goes on. Okay. I think okay. I'm a NASCAR fan. I gave up on the Vikings. Vikings are, kind of pitiful. And I didn't necessarily like pro football except for the Vikings, and I always cheered for the Vikings, but I'm taking a break from the Vikings. That doesn't mean I'm going to go for anybody, but I've picked up NASCAR, and I've picked up the intricacies of NASCAR and all that type of stuff. Their personalities fascinate me. So NASCAR's Casey Kane goes on Twitter rant after seeing a woman breastfeeding. Casey Kane, the two-time Speedway champion, is a member of the President's Council to Service and Civic Participation, but apparently he draws the line at certain forms of civic participation. On Tuesday, he launched a bizarre Twitter rant after seeing a woman breastfeeding her baby in the supermarket. Now, granted, the supermarket's probably not the best place to be breastfeeding your baby, and if you did it, you probably would want to do it someplace in private. But this says a lot about Casey Kane because evidently Casey Kane thinks that the breasts are just playthings. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of stupid. So he tweets, just walking through the supermarket, see a mom breastfeeding a little kid, took a second look because I was obviously seeing things. I wasn't. So one boob put out of the way and one boob hanging. Nasty. I don't feel like shopping anymore or eating. And somebody else. Yeah. So he obviously thinks the boobs are just a sexual toy rather than what they're actually designed for. And granted, the mom could be more discreet, and I think I'm not against being discreet at all because I think it's a private moment for a mother and her baby, but sometimes the kid's screaming. Do you want to leave the kid screaming or do you want to have them latch on? And that can be perfectly appropriate. So it just depends. On that note, we'll be back right after this.
Attention small business owners. Are your marketing materials looking stale? Does the expense of hiring an advertising company just make you cringe? Let Cinnamon Rost with 1809 Design discover your company's unique personality and help you find a design that fits your business and attracts your customers. Working one-on-one with a professional designer means you'll receive a quality finished product quicker and for a lower price. From logos to business cards and flyers to banners, 1809 Design looks forward to helping you with your next marketing endeavor. Visit 1809design.com or call 515-989-1809 today.
Do you have itchy, dry skin? Struggling with acne, eczema, asthma, or other health problems? Or maybe you're just looking for a safer, natural alternative to cleaning and skincare products. Maybe it's finally time for you to make the switch. What do I mean? A vast majority of skincare and cleaning products today contain toxic synthetic ingredients that are having a devastating effect on our health and our skin. But there is a better way. At Genuinely Pure, it's our mission to provide 100% natural and safe products that you'll absolutely love, and provide them at affordable prices. We offer a full line of products for the body, face, home, and baby, all full of pure plant-based organic ingredients to nourish, heal, and rejuvenate your skin. So now are you ready to make the switch? Come check us out on the web at genuinelypure.com. Find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Place an online order with the promo code Dr. Chad to save 10% off your purchase. Make the switch to Genuinely Pure today.
And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad.
Oh, yeah. Get a little of bluesies. Hey, have you ever wondered, if you've never been to a chiropractor before, and you hear stories, you hear people's impressions, you hear people's takes on what just happened to them. And it can be a wide range of experiences that people have when they sit in my chair. I just adjusted a gentleman today who's been going to a chiropractor for quite some time, but had never had a neck adjustment. So he sat in my chair today, and I always do the right thing. I always tell them exactly what I'm going to do before I do it. I locate the problem and figure out the best way to move it, and then move it cleanly. And people, even if I tell them this, they go out and tell their friends, I got my neck twisted by my chiropractor. I cracked my neck. You got to understand the reason why. So there's a chiropractor out there. His name is Dr. Kemetz. He is a Gonstead practitioner, and I am going to bring up his little video. It talks about how you adjust the neck. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Joe Kemetz. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I own the Encinitas Chiropractic Studio. A lot of people are worried about getting their neck adjusted. So today I'm going to do a demonstration of exactly how and why we adjust the neck. The goal of chiropractic is to correct subluxations. A subluxation is a misalignment of the vertebrae, and it makes the hole that the nerves come out smaller. That creates pressure on this nerve, and we use an instrument to determine if there's any interference at this nerve level going through the rest of the body. So the goal of the chiropractor is to adjust the segment to get the pressure off the nerve so there's no more interference to the nervous system. Now, in the cervical it's a little bit more difficult because of the lordosis of the cervical curve, but the major part is that the joints are at a 65-degree angle. So you can't set that segment forward, it needs to be lifted upwards. We're going to adjust the 7th cervical vertebrae. To do that, you have to make sure you're under the spinous. To do that, we're going to push the head forward, and we're going to get right under that segment. Now when we adjust this, we want to make sure the head is as straight as possible. We don't want to be hyperextended when we adjust the lower cervicals. And we want to make sure the thrust is coming upwards through the nose, not straight ahead.
Just a little movement, really subtle, and it does very, very well. No twisting of the neck. Isn't that cool? All righty, that's what we do. That is a chiropractic adjustment. that patient, when he got up, he's like, whoa. The lights came on for him. All right, who's a dog lover? I'm a dog lover. And I love animals. So another reason that dogs rule, they know what you're thinking. Yeah, exactly. Scientists have finally proven that every dog owner knows our canine friends read our facial expressions like dedicated detectives. Dogs just don't depend on verbal commands to figure out what we want, a new study shows. Instead, they look into our eyes and try to guess what we're up to, according to a study published in the Current Biology. Hungarian researchers show that dogs will even follow our gaze if we make eye contact with them first. The study reveals that dogs are receptive to human communication in a manner that was previously only attributed to a 6-month-old human infants. The study co-author says, that's what he says, never mind. Topol and his colleagues studied 29 canines, and the dogs were shown a movie of a woman who sometimes would stare straight at the dog and call out to them, and then turn her head to stare at an object next to her. The other times, the woman would just turn her head and stare at the object. For the most part, dogs who were addressed both through eye contact with verbal greetings tended to follow the gaze of the woman in the movie. Interesting. My dog is just... Both my dogs. I had a border collie that we had to put down earlier last year, and got a new one. It was a rescue dog, German Shepherd, beautiful dog. He's been beautiful for our family and everything. He's very intense. He just always looks me in the eye and decides, what do you want? How can I make you happy? And just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dog. So, let's see. I got another one here. Well, where did it go? Yep, okay. Never mind. Here's one on cats. I'm not sure if I believe it or not. Pet cats double the adult's risk of allergies, study says. Allergic to cats? If you're not, you might be should you decide to get one. New studies suggest adults who get cats are almost twice as likely to become allergic to them even if they've never had allergies before. I've always been led to believe that animals actually increase the chances of you not getting allergies. So it's something you have to fight for. Your immune system is exposed to something new and all that type of stuff. But does that mean going into somebody else's house that has cats, you'll automatically become allergic to cats? I don't know. As always, there will be it posted on Facebook.com. You can have that argument amongst yourselves. Low vitamin D levels linked to depression. Utah Southwestern psychiatrists say. So, according to the Utah Southwestern Medical Center, psychiatrists are working on Cooper Center longitudinal study. It's believed that the largest such investigation has been ever taken. Low levels of vitamin D are associated with cavalcade of health woes from cardiovascular disease to neurological ailments. This new study, published in the Mayo Clinic Proceedings, helps clarify the debate that erupted after smaller studies produced the conflicting results about the relationship between vitamin D and depression. Major depressive disorders affect nearly 1 in 10 adults in the United States. Our findings suggest that the screening of vitamin D levels in depressed patients and perhaps screening for depression in people with low vitamin D levels might be helpful. So I hope they get that done. Hey, do you think that reading your doctor's notes would somehow benefit you? What if you're a pain in the butt? Would it help you to know that your doctor maybe thinks that you're a pain in the butt? I don't know. Depends on what your doctor's scribbling about you. In my line of work, we have patient cards. We have note cards. And patient has access to those note cards because they bring them up to the front desk and all that type of stuff. So they can see exactly what we wrote on them. So we're not going to write anything derogatory about them. So, no. But could having easier access to the notes of your doctors taken during a checkup help you stay healthy? In a study published Monday, the Annuals of Internal Medicine, over the overwhelming answer for patients is yes. Doctors, however, are not so sure. The study called the Open Notes Project surveyed nearly 38,000 patients who saw primary care doctors in 3 states, as well as 173 physicians, patients at Boston Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Who comes up with these names? And Pennsylvania's health systems, blah, 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 and the other medical center, 3 different medical centers. Researchers found that more than 90% of the patients surveyed wanted to see the notes, saying such knowledge would help them take control of their health and would help remember to take their medicines on schedule. Bull crapola. So a smaller subset, 22%, say they use the information in the doctor's notes with people, including the other doctors, to help manage care. Well, hey, if you're going to see more than one doctor, why not? Hopefully, going to the chiropractor, you wouldn't have to go to the medical doctor that much anyway. Just, once a year for the checkup, right? And that's what usually happens to people that go to the chiropractor that start off healthy and stay healthy. When preventative care isn't free. His insurance company told him that it would be 100% covered, with no copayment from him, no charge against his deductible. The nation's first 1-year-old health law requires most insurance plans to cover all costs of preventative care, including colon cancer screening. So, Dunphy had a procedure done in April. And the bill arrived, and it was $1,100. Dunphy, a 61-year-old Phoenix small business owner, angrily paid it out of his own pocket because of what some prevention advocates call a loophole. His doctor removed 2 non-cancerous polyps during the colonoscopy. So while Dunphy was sedated, his preventative screening turned into a diagnostic procedure that allowed his insurance company to bill him. Oof-da. Yeah, you're there on the table and legs are spread and, okay, we'll just take them right now instead of being a screening. Hey, doc, it's a screening. So, like many other Americans, Dunphy has a high deductible insurance plan and he hadn't spent his deductible yet. So on top of his $400 monthly premium, he had to pay the bill. That's a bait and switch, Dunphy said, if it isn't fraud or immoral. So, what is the doctor's problem? Because the doctor thinks that, gosh, once they find something, you want treatment. So because he was unconscious, it was implied intent. Yeah, implied. So, implied consent. Sorry, not intent. Implied consent. So he was he was under and with this screening, and so the doctor snip, little polyps. They're non-cancerous anyway, and So the doctor kind of thought a lot about himself and decided to treat the person without giving the consent. Unless he was given a sheet of paper beforehand, said sign here, and that gave the doctor consent to treat. So, interesting. How about this? Can yoga wreck your body? Okay, on a cold Saturday, early 2009, Glenn Black, a yoga teacher of nearly 4 decades whose devoted clientele includes a number of celebrities and prominent gurus, was giving a master class at this yoga place in Manhattan. Black is, in many ways, a classic yogi. He studied in Pune, India, an institute founded in legendary blah, 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 and spent years in solitude and meditation. He now lives in Rhinebeck, New York, and often teaches at a nearby Omega Institute, a New Age emporium spread over nearly 200 acres of woods and gardens. He is known for his rigor and his down-to-earth style. But this was not the reason why I sought him out, Black said. Black, I've been told, was a person to speak with if you wanted to know about the virtues of yoga, but rather about the damage it could do. Many of his regular clients came to him for body work or rehabilitation following yoga injuries. This was a situation I found myself in. In my 30s, I had somehow managed to rupture a disc in my lower back and found that I could prevent bouts of pain with selection of yoga postures and abdominal exercises. Then in 2007, while doing a back extended side angle leg pose, the posture hailed as a cure for many diseases, my back gave way, and it went to my belief that the naive retrospect that the yoga was a source of not only healing but never harm. This goes right to exactly what I was saying before about if you exercise, make sure that your spine is in good physical condition, that it can bend that way normally. Because if a bone is out of a misalignment, it's stuck and it's making the other bones move too much to compensate for that one bone not moving, and then you can have injury, okay? And that's what happened. That's what happened there. On that note, why don't you listen to my buddy Jimmy at mybuddyjimmy.com.
I hear you're looking for a DJ. Well, did you know that My Buddy Jimmy can take care of you? In fact, everyone needs a buddy in the business. So you can find My Buddy Jimmy at mybuddyjimmy.com. If you need a DJ for a wedding reception, corporate event, or party, My Buddy Jimmy can help. That is why I recommend My Buddy Jimmy for your next event or party. Check out My Buddy Jimmy at mybuddyjimmy.com or give him a call at 554-6520. That's a 515 area code 554-6520. Visit mybuddyjimmy.com.
We love our chiropractor, and I've got 3 great reasons why. First, there are no appointments, which is great for my busy life. Second, we don't waste a lot of time sitting in a waiting room. Dr. Chad actually respects our time and schedule. Third, we get unlimited care at a low fixed monthly fee. That's right. My family's care is based on our needs, not the insurance company's ability to pay. You can love your chiropractor too, and your first adjustment at the Spinal Tuning Center is free. The Spinal Tuning Center is conveniently located on Merle Hay Road, right off Interstate 80. Find out more at spinaltuning.com or call 727-4000.
And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad.
And they're right. We're heading into the home stretch. Now, I've asked this question many times, Why are you providing chiropractic care at a discounted rate like that? Why? Why? $69 for unlimited care? Are you kidding me? Well, no, not really. It means I'm free. It means I'm free. I played the insurance game for years, and hated it because what would always happen is the insurance company would always pit me against the patient if there was ever a dispute. And they'd always pit me against the patient, and it was just wrong, especially with personal injury cases, like a car accident or something. This is what they would do over the years. We'd provide care to their customer, right? The insurance company's customer. And then we'd submit the paperwork and all that type of stuff. And then what would end up happening is the insurance company would automatically send the check to the patient so the patient could pay us. Now, what would end up happening a lot of times is the patient wouldn't be told, what this is for. They thought that the insurance company would pay us directly. Well, they thought they had Christmas. And so what ended up happening is then we'd ask for payment, and then there'd be a big argument. It was always pitting us against. So then we stopped accepting assignment for personal injury cases with the insurance companies, and we'd have the patient pay up front. Well, guess what would happen? Once we did that, the insurance companies would start sending the checks right to our office. So then we could have another conflict with the patient and all that type of stuff. The thing is once I get that check, I'd rip it up. I'd rip it up and call the patient and tell the patient to berate their insurance company. They play games like that, and that's a bunch of BS. The health insurance companies do play the same thing. We've got that video on YouTube talking about how they increase premiums for people that undergo chiropractic care, but yet on the back end, people that the study that studied 75,000 people over 5 years worth of time, the patients who went to the chiropractors initially had 40% fewer claims. So not only are they, charging higher premiums for those people that wish to go to the chiropractor and will put riders on their spine, even if they go for wellness, they'll even save on them on the back end because they, pay out fewer claims because they go to the chiropractor. So it's not right. So I got out of it. And I don't have any staff or anything. Not to say I didn't like my staff. I love my staff. They were family. But now it's $69 a month. It's unlimited care. It's auto-debited, so I don't have to worry about collecting from anybody or anything. And what ends up happening is it makes a beautiful relationship because people are more apt to come in when they're having a small problem. And when they come in with a small problem, guess what? It doesn't turn into a big problem because people actually think in their mind they have a problem, okay? They have like a back pain or neck pain or whatever. And they'll actually reason in their mind, is it worth paying the $45 to come in, or will this neck pain just go away? What do you think their decision will be? The neck pain will just go away. And you know what? After a little while, it will, until they injure it again. Then they have to do that same contemplation. Do I want to pay $45? Or, it went away last time. It'll go away again. And then what ends up happening is you, the chiropractor, end up being the last choice, and they wind up in a heap of trouble because they were playing that game in their mind. Is the adjustment worth the $45, or will the pain go away? The pain always goes away. Pain will always go away, but the function will degrade. So with the spinal tuning centers, $69 a month, unlimited care, it takes that whole equation out of it. And people are so compliant with my recommendations, and I love it. They don't have to juggle in their mind. Is it worth the $45 to come in? Nah, don't worry. So it's easy, it's affordable. I've got family plans too, so you're more than welcome to stop in by. Babies' sleep problems persist in toddler years. Oh, really? I've got 5 kids, and I don't have that problem. Why? Because they're adjusted. Don't just assume a baby's sleep problems are normal and will soon pass, suggests a new study that finds babies whose sleep issues are several times more likely will still have developed difficulties when the toddlers compared to babies who sleep well. Sleep problems definitely start early, and the researchers showed that the sleep problems persist over years, the early years. Oh, come on. They should get some chiropractic into these studies. Tell you what, 5 kids, my kids, by the end of the first year, they were sleeping 12 hours. 10 to 12 hours, okay, a night, and they weren't waking up at night. Now, we'll get the occasional wake up, but nah. So, a team from Cincinnati's Children's Hospital and Medical Center in Ohio surveyed more than 250 mothers about their children's sleep behaviors when the kids were 6, 12, 24, and 36 months. They found that 10 kids under the age of 3 has a sleep problem like nightmares, waking, trouble falling asleep, or inability to sleep in the child's own bed. That's not true with my family, I'll tell you that much. 5 kids, by the first year, they're sleeping 10 to 12 hours. Consistently. How about this? FDA finally limits antibiotics in livestock, fears that humans are becoming resistant to key drugs. Really? Gosh, who's been saying that since 1951? The chiropractic profession has been. Calories count. It's how much you're eating that matters the most. This is in theatlantic.com. I was intrigued by a new study from the Pennington Research Center concluded that weight gain depends on calories. What a shocker, huh? But how much protein, and not how much protein you eat. The idea that protein, fat, and carbohydrate content in your diet matters more than weight, then how many calories you eat persists despite much evidence to the contrary. The study did something impressive. It measured what people ate, how much they ate, and how much energy they expended under the tightly controlled conditions. As usual, most studies of weight gain and loss depended on the participants' self-reports. Hello, Hannah. How are you? Good. I get to have a massage today. Thank God. So, What's this? Couch potato pill prevents heat stroke. Couch potato pill prevents heat stroke. Scientists have stumbled upon a new drug that prevents heat stroke for people prone to the deadly condition. Ironically, it's the same drug flaunted 3 years ago as the couch potato pill for its ability to build muscle and increase endurance in mice that never break a sweat. The study appeared Sunday in the Journal of Nature Medicine. I will have that at facebook.com/Rohlfsen. You just check it out right there. Remember the spelling. Healthy diet is best for kids with ADHD. Fast food, sodas, ice cream may be America's kids' favorite menu items, but they're also probably the worst for those who with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a mouthful. A new literature review suggests, according to 2 researchers from the Children's Memorial Hospital in Chicago, a relatively simple diet, low in fats and high in whole grains, fruits, and vegetables is one of the best alternatives to drug therapy for ADHD. Omega-3s and omega-6 fatty acids supplements have also been shown to help in controlled studies. We're coming on the landing. Yes. Just the headlines, please. Acid reflux on the rise. Why is that? Heartburn and other symptoms of acid reflux seem to be much more common than they were a decade ago. The prevalence of weekly heartburn and other symptoms of acid reflux rose nearly 50% over the last decade, according to the largest studies ever to examine the issue. The study followed more than 30,000 people in Norway for 11 years. When the study started, 11.6% of the people reported acid reflux symptoms at least once a week. That percentage rose to 17.1% by the end of the study. That's a 47% increase. And you know what? They've been having Tagamet, over-the-counter Tagamet, over-the-counter medications for a long time, but they still have more acid reflux problems because it's not a cure. It's just a symptom-relieving agent. So, hey, how about this? Surgery affects memory and concentration. This kind of hits home because I had a friend who had a hip replacement. Was it a hip? Yeah, it was a full hip replacement, and he refused anesthetics to put him under. The anesthetics were, the local anesthetics were used, and so he watched the whole friggin' procedure awake, and yeah, that's got to have some psychological impacts, you'd think. But just to hear the saw. Anyway, but he refused to be put under because he knew that would affect him cognitively. And I can see that. Personality changes and cognitive changes with people that are put under. So this is a study in Stockholm, Sweden. Patients undergoing surgery with anesthesia can develop a decline in memory and learning long after the procedure, researchers say in Sweden. That will be at facebook.com/Rohlfsen. Say, we're going to put on the music. This music is used with permission of Don Ross from Breakfast for Dogs. Great album. Go pick it up. I got to get his other... He let me use the entire album. This one is crazy because, you got to indulge. Love the music. So, another week is done. This was January 9th. Show episode, what was it, 159 or 158? I said at the beginning, I'm not sure what it is. But I hope you do tune in at the end of this week, and we'll have another set of stories to talk with you, even the ones I missed today. Okay? Yes. We're recalling Excedrin and no-dose again. And BMJ. Oh, Dr. Wakefield is suing the BMJ. We'll get to that next week on this show, this fun time, Tuning into Health. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Bye-bye.